ladies and gentlemen. This is RJ Wellington, and this is the Sunday service, the Metaphysical Sunday Service for the Indigo Nights Network on Sunday, April 17, 2022, which happens to be Easter Sunday for the Christian community, and nothing more appropriated for this service than to discuss a reading from a book by Neville called Resurrection. That's what Easter, or the Easter Sunday, is all about, the third day when Master Yeshua raised his body. It is not about a bunny or a chocolate egg. So let's look at this book, Resurrection, which is basically a compilation of a few short Neville's talks. And the chapter I will be reading from is called No One to Change But Self. And I will read the two texts, separated texts. The first one is just one small paragraph, and the second one is a longer one, closer to 2 pages. And then we'll be putting it together for your understanding. So, on page 228 in my version, which is the Divorce Publishing version of Resurrection, Neville says, open quote, "The ideal we serve and strive to attain could never be evolved from us were it not potentially involved in our nature." Close quotes. Now I will jump to page 230 in the same edition of Resurrection. Continuing with Neville, open quote, "My mystical experiences have convinced me that there is no way to bring about the outer perfection we seek other than by the transformation of ourselves. As soon as we succeed in transforming ourselves, the world will melt magically before our eyes and reshape itself in harmony with that wish our transformation affirms. In the divine economy, nothing is lost. We cannot lose anything save by descent from the sphere where the thing has its natural life. There is no transforming power in death, and whether we are here or there, we fashion the world that surrounds us by the intensity of our imagination and feeling, and we illuminate or darken our lives by the concepts we hold of ourselves. Nothing is more important to us than our conception of ourselves, and especially is this true of our concept of the dimensionally greater one within us. Those who help or hinder us, whether they know it or not, are the servants of the law, which shapes outward circumstances in harmony with our inner state. It is our conception of ourselves which frees us or constrains us, though it might use material agencies to achieve its purpose. Because life molds the outer world to reflect the inner arrangement of our minds, there is no way of bringing about the outer perfection we seek other than by the transformation of ourselves. No help comes from without. The hills to which we lift our eyes are those of an inner range. It is thus to our unconsciousness that we must turn as to the only reality, the only foundation on which all phenomena can be explained. We can rely absolutely on the justice of this law to give us only that which is of the nature of ourselves. To attempt to change the world before we change our concept of ourselves is to struggle against the nature of things. There can be no outer change until there is first an inner change. As within, so without. And close quotes. This is amazing, correct? So easy, so clear, so time-saving, if you want it to be, if you realize the truth of this statement, the eternal truth about yourself and reality. In the very first text that I read, the one paragraph, he says, the idea we serve and strive to attain could never be evolved from us, were it not potentially involved in our nature. And what that means, my dear ones? Translating in easier, simple words for you to hopefully finally understand it. You can only want what is possible for you to have. Otherwise, you would never conceive of wanting it. If it's something would be impossible in the universe, logically speaking, you wouldn't even think about it, right? But now, we are talking about a unity of consciousness, which is you, a physical being right now in 3D, also having to deal with duality. So this statement, imagining a coin with two sides. So in one side of the coin it says, you can only want what is possible for you to have. But if you flip the other side, it says, you can only have what you see as possible for you. So, again, being repetitive on purpose, you can only want what is possible for you to have. But you can only have what you see as possible for you. Okay? Everything is possible for universal consciousness. What about your individual consciousness? Are you being God in action? And you might not be. And that is not a problem, because you are here hopefully to learn how to expand your consciousness. Okay? And when you talk about the lower mind or the outer mind, what are most people programmed to want in life? Look at the world around you. Look at everybody you know. Look at what you call your current evolved society. Okay? What are they programmed to want? What they call a normal life or a good life. Or the American dream. Let's talk about the United States specifically. And don't take me wrong, the American dream, or the dream in any country, no matter what, is not only here. If you are aligned with the higher self, any dream is possible. But the human or the normies version of the American dream, what is that? Well, you go through school, you hope to get good grades throughout all your childhood and adolescence, Then you apply for a college, you get a degree. Your aim is to land a very good paying job or open your own business, it doesn't matter. And then you get into that loop. You wake up, you have your breakfast, you go to work, you spend most of your day at work, you come home, you have dinner, you watch some TV, have some chat with your family, then you go to sleep. And the next day, you start it all over again with a few goals. To hopefully buy a house, to have a car, to have a good health insurance in case you get sick, and to send your kids to good schools and good colleges, to repeat the very same process. So that's what most people call a normal life, right? And I'm not saying there is anything wrong with that, okay? What I'm saying is this. Based on the text that we read, you can only want what is possible for you to have. But you can only have what you see as possible for you. If all you see possible is graduating from college, getting a good job, working 20, 30, 40 years until you retire, and then teaching your kids the same thing, that is your normal life. Now, the big question, what do you think you are able to have or to accomplish in your life? How high you aim? How expanded can you think? I will give you an example. Again, many people want to have probably superpowers or even reach ascension and immortality. But if you look around you and you talk to a normie and you ask them, do you believe immortality is possible? Would you want that? And what will be the response? No, no way, everybody dies. Who am I to say that I can be immortal? So right there you see, that is out of the range of possibilities. Sometimes I ask my private students, do you think you can be a multi-millionaire? And some of them say, yes, I do. But I feel the energy of hesitation in their voices. Okay? So, if you want anything, it means that the universe is saying that you can have it. But, and that is a big but, your desire passes through what I call a filtration system of your human beliefs, which are basically conditional, and your programming. So what is a belief, a conditional belief? Yes, I believe I can be rich only if I get a college degree or I open a successful business. That is still a filtration because there is a condition or a couple of conditions there, right? I believe I can be very healthy if I can spend those $3,000 to buy this new energy device someone is selling. Again, there is a filtration. The moment you say, I believe that I can do this or that, only if you are already filtering that desire, which means you might not be being led to the easiest, quickest, most effective way of accomplishing that goal. Clear? So, in the second text that I read, the longer text, Neville basically talks about your concept, or the concepts we hold of ourselves, which is basically what we call in psychology the self-image. In one of my live lectures a while ago, I shared the concept of self-image with the group that was participating. And here, last week in our last service, I spoke about your reactions to life, right? That also has to do with your self-image. How you react when you look at the mirror. How you react when you think about you, about your potentials and everything else, all about you. And one of the biggest problems, and pay attention, because this, you probably won't be reading any book or watch any video that says as clearly as I am expressing to those who have the ears to hear and the eyes to see. The biggest problem most people face in their path to expansion, enlightenment, ascension, awakening, whatever you want to call, is that idea of classifying yourself as something wanting to be something else, or someone wanting to be someone else. For example, if you have the concept, I am a poor person wishing to be prosperous, or if you say, I'm a sick, weak person wishing to be healthy, what you think is the real self-concept or self-identity you are expressing at that moment? You are in the state of consciousness that says, I am a poor person, or I am a sick person, or I am an unlucky person, and you go desperately looking for permission slips for salvation board after salvation board. You might spend thousands of dollars, travel to do a workshop in a fancy island with a famous self-help celebrity. But being very honest with you, that won't help you unless that concept changes. And I know, I still have students, they are always checking online or looking for books or audios or videos, looking for a magic formula. When I gave them, in 12 weeks, all they need to transcend, to ascend, if they wish to, but they're still looking for permission slips at a much lower level. And again, each person is free in their journey. But, I tell, from my perspective, if I'm giving a straight way to go from point A to point B, why should I take, sides, go this way, go that way, and get there in 5 days instead of in 5 hours, for example? I hope you get my point, okay? And that's why some people wonder why I keep repeating the same pattern in my life of never eliminating a problem. So I have to look for this guru, I have to look for this new self-help celebrity, I have to spend $10,000 in this wonderful seminar with someone, or this emotional cleansing technique, whatever it is. That's why some people keep repeating these patterns. Okay? They're always looking for a new salvation board, a new process, a new technique. Because again, they are missing the point of working on the self-concept. If you keep saying, I'm a poor person wishing to be rich, I'm a sick person wishing to be healthy, you'll be in that eternal loop, that Groundhog Day syndrome. That's what I call. So talking about resurrection or ascension, to me, part of resurrection is to die to the old self. As Yeshua said, you have to die and be born again. Okay? Which includes the two topics, main topics of this lesson, of this service. That whatever you think or whatever you want to have is a sign from infinite consciousness that you can have it. But you can have that in the new concept of yourself. So there are many layers to what we call ascension or resurrection. It's not a one-step process. There is not a mantra that you say that will turn you into ascended master in 5 minutes. I wish there was. But on the other side, it doesn't have to be a process that takes 10, 5, even 1 year. It can take less than 1 year, I promise you. There are many layers, and I'm sharing with you the very basic layers. Okay, they are laid down here and in the previous services that you hopefully listened to. Okay, so pay attention to this. My message for today is this. You must know that whatever you want is possible for you. Otherwise, you wouldn't even think about wanting that. And you also must know that your concept, the concept you hold of yourself, is the key to open the first door towards enlightenment or ascension, which is your self-image. Oh yeah, it sounds like I'm crazy, I'm now having limited resources to say I am the infinite prosperity of the universe. Yeah, it seems so. But if you don't go through that, you'll never know. I might be lying to you, I always say that. I might be the biggest liar in the universe. And I don't care if you think that or not. But the only way for you to realize these truths, to know that what I'm saying is not a bunch of lies, is for you to practice it, to have your own results. And throughout this and my live workshops, and especially with my private students, I always give some way for you to practice it. Freely, by the way, in this series, for example. So, let's look at two things that you should do. The first practice. Ask, what do I truly want? And for this practice, you have to be radically honest with yourself. And there is no problem if you find negative patterns. That's why you're doing it, to find and eventually eliminate those negative patterns. So again, ask, what do I truly want? A normal life. Okay, that's valid. Oh, I want to be a movie star. I want to be the new Elon Musk. I want to be a billionaire. I want to be the healthiest person on this planet, or I wanted to be an ascended masters, right? Then the second part, you ask, do I truly know I can have it? And that's the most important part. That's where honesty comes from. If I tell you, you can be a billionaire, do you take that as if I told you, you can walk? It is basically the same thing at some level. But how you react to that, right? What are your reactions to life? And the second practice, you have to ask, what is my self-concept? How do I see myself? And again, be radically honest. Look at yourself, look at your thought patterns, how you have been thinking about yourself throughout the years. Do you consider someone with a series of problems to solve? Again, I'm someone who always struggle with my health, with my weight, with my financial life. And I'm in this path to one day become free from these issues. Is that what you are being now? Is that what you see yourself as? That is the point. That is the door that you have to walk through. Nobody can do that for you, no matter what they say. No amount of hypnosis, past life regression, release work, or whatever it is, can do. If at the core of your being, that where only you can reach, you don't realize that. I have to be before I have anything. Because again, just to review, the double coin, the two-sided coin, you can have only what is possible for you to have. That is clear. That is a universal law that nobody can challenge or change. But on the other side of the coin, that is your individual law, because you are the God of your reality. You are defining how this holograph responds to you. So the other side is, you can only have what you see as possible for you. Again, very simple, very clear, very enlightening, straight to the point. In these few minutes, I gave you more information than you can find in 10, 20, 100 books put together. So make good use of it. There might be a reason why you are listening to this right now. Don't you think? Why? Because there is a different universe for every decision you make in life. There is a reality right there, the many mansions, right? As Jesus said it, in my Father's house there are many mansions. I will go and prepare a place for you. Which mansion you choose to occupy? When are you coming to the point of a true resurrection, being born again? And I'm not even talking about becoming an immortal, ascended master right now, but to become an ascended human being where you are, using these principles. Because it's like a ladder that you have to climb, a ladder. So you have to take the steps. So there is step 1, step 2, step 3. You cannot jump from step 1 to step 25, right? But what I'm trying to do, what I came here to do, is to try to make your journey a little easier. But for that, you have to eliminate all the BS out of the way that was created by your unconsciousness to keep you limited. One day you get there. But the question I always have to ask, do you want it to be next month, in 3 months from now? Or 3 decades from now? 3 lifetimes from now? Think about it. So tomorrow, have your Easter bunny, go chasing for eggs, have your chocolate, as much as you want. But remember, resurrection is about realizing your true power and about changing the concept you hold for yourself. Have a great Easter, have an amazing week, and may the force be with you.